Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia. I'm 47 years old, and this is one of the most unbelievable stories I've ever experienced. Even now, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but I can't stop replaying the events in my mind.
During my time in retail, I once said, "Have a great day, everyone." An elderly woman filed a complaint, upset that I didn't address her as ma'am, and offended by the phrase, "Have a great day," as she had come to the aquarium shop grieving her deceased fish. She found it inappropriate for me to wish her a good day under such circumstances. An elderly neighbor falsely accused me of spray painting garages near my home. Eventually, security footage revealed it was her youngest child who had done the graffiti. I received a formal complaint from a customer accusing me of being unnecessarily rude when I declined his repeated attempts to ask me out on a date. He persistently asked while I was working, despite being in his mid-40s, whereas I was only 16 years old at the time. A piece of customer feedback I received read, "Was your request completed to your expectations? 10 out of 10. Did you feel valued? 2/10 greater than comment. This task should have been handled by an older staff member. The criticism stemmed solely from my age, costing me a significant portion of my bonus despite excelling at my job." When I first started dating my fiancée, she lived in a rental property. One afternoon at her place, we watched a funny YouTube video of a raven saying the F word. The two of us laughed uncontrollably for about 5 minutes. Shortly afterward, her landlord received a letter from a neighbor who complained about our inappropriate laughter during the day. Who complains about someone laughing for a few minutes in their own home? A customer ordered a cappuccino but became upset when it had foam. I explained that foam is a defining feature of a cappuccino. She snapped, "I know what a cappuccino is," and complained to my manager about me. Years ago, when I worked at a video arcade, a child asked me for free tokens. Since it was a slow day and I had extra, I gave him a few, as permitted. Later, he asked for more, but I declined. The following day, he returned with his mother, claiming I had taken one of the plastic guns from a shooter game and threatened to harm him. His mother relayed this fabricated story to my manager, who fired me on the spot without hearing my side. Losing that job, which combined my love of video games and hands-on cabinet repair, was devastating. Since then, I've only worked in offices, and life has felt far duller. A customer once reported me to corporate because I informed her that we didn't stock a particular brand of dog food. I worked at a major pet retail chain, and the brand she wanted was the store brand of our biggest competitor. I even showed her the competitor's website, where it clearly stated, "You'll only find X brand at X pet store." She didn't want to shop there, so I suggested a similar product, though I recommended sticking with her dog's usual food to avoid upsetting its stomach. She argued that I needed to make it right. When I explained I couldn't help further, she accused me of being rude and stormed out. Her complaint to corporate, that I refused to leave my store, go to the competitor's store 4 blocks away, buy the food with my own money, and bring it back to her. My manager pulled me aside during my next shift to share the story. We had a good laugh. Even corporate found her demands absurd and dismissed her complaint. My manager even bought me lunch as thanks for staying calm. I was once accused of using a slur in an elevator. My boss called me in and we reviewed the security footage. It showed me and the other person having a friendly conversation and laughing together. My boss, having already reviewed the footage earlier, admitted they had no idea what the complaint was about. Someone had simply tried to get me fired for no reason. Back in elementary school, I was sent to the principal's office because a substitute teacher thought I was lying about my name. I gave her my real name, Wolfgang, but she just couldn't believe anyone would name their child that. At one job, I learned there was a high-level meeting involving management to discuss my emails. Apparently, my emails were written too well. I could draft quick, polished messages, and someone in upper management assumed I was spending excessive time on them to make myself look better than others. Here's a frustrating situation I still recall. A coworker asked me to cover her Sunday shift. I usually only worked Saturdays because of university, and the job was fine with that arrangement. I agreed, but only if she would cover my Saturday shift so I'd have time to study. She agreed, but later backed out. I told her she'd need to find someone else for Sunday if she couldn't cover my Saturday shift. She accused me of being immature and reported me to management for being rude. Management told me to work both shifts, and being 17 and needing the job, I reluctantly agreed. During my Saturday shift, the manager reprimanded me, so I explained what had happened. Despite this, they sided with my coworker and said I should be more flexible. I calmly told the manager I wouldn't be working either shift and wished them luck covering for me before walking out. Their expression was priceless. The next week, I found a tutoring job that suited me much better. As a firefighter, I've encountered some baffling complaints from the public. One, after I broke down a door to assist an elderly woman who had fallen, her son, 5 hours away, complained because he wanted us to wait for him to arrive with a key. 2, a man was upset because I wouldn't let him store his motorcycle in the fire station over the winter. 3, a woman complained because I wouldn't fix her stove. 4, another individual was angry because we took too long replacing the battery in his beeping smoke detector. We were busy performing CPR at the time. 5, a lady demanded I take off my boots before entering her home during an active fire. I explained that protocol prohibits removing safety gear during emergencies, but she still complained. A total stranger who had recently been released from state prison filed a lawsuit against me in family court, requesting visitation rights for our non-existent 10-year-old child. He claimed that he attended a party at my house, and after a one-night stand in my unfinished basement bedroom, I became pregnant. According to him, I had promised to terminate the pregnancy but didn't, and now he wanted to step up as a father. How did he track me down? Unable to remember the exact address, he used Google Maps to search through my neighborhood and became convinced it was my house. For weeks, he refused to accept he had the wrong person until I went to the police station. An officer then emailed him a family photo while on the phone with him and confirmed I was the person in the picture. My husband, who is a dentist, was reported to the Board of Dentistry by a new patient. Her complaint? He suggested she get her teeth cleaned. I still laugh when I think about it. A girl accused my son of assaulting her at school, claiming her neck was sore the night after the supposed incident. My son, who is autistic, had a one-on-one aide with him at all times. Not only is my son non-violent, he's more prone to tears than physical aggression, but the aide didn't witness the alleged assault. Upon investigation, we discovered the regular aide was absent that day, and the substitute aide left my son alone in the cafeteria to get his own lunch. This violated my son's IEP, which explicitly states he cannot be left alone in chaotic environments like the cafeteria due to sensory overload. My son explained he had simply tapped the girl on the shoulder to greet her, a claim verified by security footage. While technically the tap broke a school rule, we argued they could discipline him for the minor infraction, but we would pursue legal action for the IEP violation. In the end, my son was reminded not to touch others, even in a friendly way. The girl, who spread false accusations of assault to her classmates and even tried to ruin my son's friendship with her sister, faced minimal consequences. She reiterated her assault claim during a meeting but was shown the footage disproving her story. At most, she might have received a warning. During a 4-person HR meeting involving a co-worker, our manager, HR, and me, the co-worker claimed I was always angry. The three of us stared at him, and I asked why he thought that. His response: "Your face is always red and angry. I'm British, so my skin just doesn't tan well." A co-worker once filed an HR complaint against me for reading books during lunch breaks. In response, I told HR he was probably just upset that I wasn't reading hardcore adult magazines on company time like he does.